All right, we're going to be talking on naming chemicals. This is page 5 of your packet. Well, actually, I don't know that it's page 5. It's page 5 of last year's packet. What we're first going to be talking about is binary ionic compounds. Binary means made of two elements. Now, that doesn't mean that it couldn't have two hydrogens and one oxygen. There's still just two elements there, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay? A binary ionic compound is made, let's see if we can change colors for fun, of one type of metallic element and one type of nonmetallic. If you recall, this line here delineates the difference, or the dividing line of metals and nonmetals. The elements along the line are metalloids, but otherwise, on this side of the periodic table, we have metals, and on this side, we have nonmetals. Okay, so when you're naming something, if it's made of two elements, one's a metal and one's a nonmetal, these are the rules to follow. So the first thing you do is when given the name, you find the elements on the periodic table. Look at their most common charge. It is written at the top of the group. Look, so the alkaline earth metals are a +1. Alkali metals. Alkaline earth metals are a +2. This family is a +3, +4 or -4, -3, -2, -1. Write the charges on the elements in the compound. And you write the charges if we were doing, for instance, lithium chloride. You write lithium, charge of +1, chlorine, charge of -1. All compounds must be neutral, or their positive and negative charges must equal 0. I call this the rule of zero charge. Some examples. Barium chloride. Barium is in the second family, the alkaline earth metal family, and all those elements have a +2 charge. Chloride means chlorine, we put an ending of IDE on, is in the halogen family. They all have a -1 charge. Now, the law of zero charge says the charges have to add up to 0. And those do not. We have to have some combination of barium and chlorine together. We can't add anything else. But if we have two chlorides, we would multiply that charge by 2, and now we add up to 0. It's an algebra problem. All right, if our charge is in parentheses, and we add that to the negative charge, does that equal 0? No. But if we multiply this by 2, 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So this multiplier tells us how many chlorides we have and how many bariums. Let's try sodium oxide now. Sodium oxide is a sodium and an oxygen. Sodium has a +1, oxygen has a -2. Now, if we follow our rule of zero charge, sodium with its +1, oxygen with its -2, if we add those together, obviously they do not add up to 0. But if we go in and we have 2, that was supposed to be in red. 2 times 1, that gives us a +2. 1 times negative 2, that would add up to 0. So we're going to put a 2 right there. Our third one, aluminum, has a 3+ charge, and sulfur has a 2- charge. If we use our algebra problem, something times +3 plus something times -2, what could we multiply 3 by and multiply 2 by that would give us 0? If we could look for the least common multiple, that would be 6. What times 3 gives you 6? A 2. What times 2 gives you 6? A 3. So that means we need 2 aluminums and 3 sulfurs. Now, if you notice that 3 is the same as the charge on the aluminum, and the 2 is the same as the charge on the sulfur. This is called the crisscross method, and all we're doing, if we have 2 that we have to multiply both of them, a lot of times you can just crisscross the charges down to be the number of elements. All right, if we're given the formula, the first thing you do is name the elements. Same as on the periodic table. First you name the metal. Then you name the nonmetal, and with the nonmetal we put that "-ide", that suffix in. So oxygen becomes oxide, nitrogen becomes nitride, fluorine becomes fluoride, sulfur becomes sulfide, carbon carbide, chlorine chloride, phosphorus phosphide, selenium selenide. All right, so let's practice this. First of all, we see lithium. Lithium fluoride. Magnesium iodide. Another example. Calcium. Let me write the formula out. Calcium nitride. All right, work on the next page and do a few until you feel like you've got it. And then when you come to class, you can take a quiz and test out potentially.